By noon, the marble floors of the Whitmore mansion shone like poured milk. Sunlight fell through the tall windows and broke into bright, smug diamonds on the crystal glassware. Somewhere, a quartet rehearsed something light and expensive. The air smelled of citrus polish and the kind of flowers that need gardeners with resumes. In the center of that careful glitter, a metal tray slipped from a guest's hand and crashed to the floor. 5 glasses skittered, a small river of champagne ran toward the foyer, and 100 eyes turned to the woman in the plain gray dress already dropping to her knees. "Here," Charlotte Whitmore said loudly, pointing at the spill as if she'd discovered an enemy formation. "Right in front of everyone. Don't smear it, Anna. Blot." Laughter rippled, safe and mean. Anna Morales wrung a cloth until the last drop of water surrendered. Her hair, once black as coffee, was threaded silver at the edges and pulled into a neat bun. Her hands, small, square, strong, moved with the steady competence of a nurse and the humility of a shadow. She pressed the cloth to the champagne, lifted, pressed again. She did not look up. Gregory Whitmore leaned his elbow on the piano and watched as if someone had brought entertainment. "Careful," he drawled. "Mother will have a fit if the marble streaks." "Mr. Whitmore," Anna said softly without looking. "I won't let it streak. See?" Charlotte smiled at her friends. "She won't let it." At the far end of the room, Evelyn Whitmore, Evelyn to Anna when no one else was listening, Mrs. Whitmore forever to everyone else, sat, her glass down. The corners of her mouth, always quick to lift for a joke, dropped into a line that meant something would change later, when fewer eyes might punish it. When Anna had dried the last small lake, she gathered the cloths, rose and carried them to the service sink. She passed a gilt mirror and caught her reflection in the briefest glance. A woman of 53 with straight shoulders and a spine that refused to learn the curl of apology. In the glass behind her, guests grinned and leaned. She adjusted the bun and went back to work. "Thank you," Evelyn said as Anna crossed the threshold again. Her voice was velvet with thread beneath. "You handled it." "Yes, ma'am," Anna answered. "Evelyn," the older woman corrected quietly. "Evelyn," Anna repeated, the name like a warm cup held between 2 tired hands. "Let it pass," Evelyn murmured, the faintest flick of her eyes toward Charlotte. "The waves break, then there's quiet." Anna nodded. She knew the tides of rich houses better than most meteorologists knew rain. 15 years earlier, Anna had arrived at the back door of the Whitmore mansion with one cloth satchel and a letter from a diner owner who wrote, in blocky pen, "Quiet. Steady. Honest." On the bus up the hill, she held those 3 words like a rope. When the butler opened the service entrance and the house's breath fell over her, polish, old paper, cut flowers with stems square as soldiers, Anna felt something inside her sit down and say, "If I'm careful, I could belong to this work." She learned the house the way a musician learns a score. The hinge that complained, the stair that sighed, the chandelier that chattered when someone opened a window too fast. She sent money home every Friday and labeled it like a promise for Mateo's, textbooks for Mama's pills, even after there was no mother left to need them. Naming money made it heavier. Heavier things didn't blow away. Anna became the kind of person rich houses love because they forget they are loved. Invisible until a crisis, present until the party ends, hands ready when the oranges decide to roll and the dog decides to eat the cake. She kept to the quiet. She learned to let her dignity be the one nice thing she owned that no one could borrow. 8 years into the work, dusting the drawing room when she was sure it was empty, Anna overheard Gregory say, "It's absurd to keep a maid full-time. Mother, that's charity." Evelyn's reply could have buttered bread and cut it too. Charity is when we give away money we don't notice. This is loyalty. This is a life. Anna backed out before her heart could knock anything over. The spring Evelyn fell, the morning was soft and foolishly pretty. Anna found her in the music. Room, scarf hooked on the arm of a chair, one shoe turned sideways like it had changed its mind. For 1 second, terror froze her. The next, she remembered the CPR course Camilla from the kitchen had insisted they take 3 summers ago. "A key, Evelyn," Anna said, then English. "Stay with me." She planted the heel of her hand in the center of the older woman's chest and pressed down. 2 inches, Release. 2 inches. Release. The metronome of her palms cut the room into life-sized pieces. By the time the siren curled into the driveway, sweat ran into Anna's eyes, and her shoulders felt like someone had poured hot sand into them. The EMTs carried Evelyn out, scarf trailing like a small flag, surrendering and refusing to at the same time. "She'll hate resting," Anna told the doctor in the corridor later. "Then we'll call it a holiday," he said. "Some people earn the right to hate rest." When Evelyn came home, she moved slower and laughed softer, but her eyes were brighter, like a window behind them had opened at last. "I heard you insulted death," she teased Anna in the garden, voice thin but amused, "and it left in a huff." "Fie!" "Reminded a heart of its responsibilities," Anna said. Evelyn's laugh lifted birds. "I'm putting that on the crest." "You already have a crest, ma'am." "Then we'll start a second one," Evelyn said, and her scarf, pale blue, the exact color of morning, slipped on the breeze as if it agreed. The afternoon the lawyer came, the house tried to act like a church. It was the day after the funeral, lilies being brave in bowls, everyone dressed as if sorrow had a dress code. The family gathered in the library beneath the portrait of the late Mr. Whitmore, who looked down with the careful neutrality of a man who had paid for the frame. Victor Lawson, the Whitmore's attorney for a quarter century, stood by the long table with a heavy envelope and the voice of someone who had seen most versions of people. Anna stood by the sideboard with a tray of water as if thirst were the only problem that needed solving. Lawson began with the familiar: bequests to charities, trusts for the grandchildren that would open their hands in stages, letters for certain. Friends, the lake cabin for Gregory, paintings and jewelry for Charlotte. Nods. A few sighs that needed attention and didn't get it. "And now," Lawson said, as if the sentence weighed something, "regarding the Whitmore residence and the accompanying endowment for its maintenance and stewardship." Charlotte leaned forward. Gregory stopped examining his cufflinks as if they might tell him a better version of the future. "Evelyn Margaret Whitmore bequeaths the Whitmore residence and grounds, together with the Whitmore endowment designated for the same, to Ms. Anna Morales. There are sounds rooms make that people spend a lifetime pretending they can't hear. This one was a hinge reminded of its purpose." Then Charlotte's chair scraped a scream from the floor. "No," she said. "No, this is laughable." She did not laugh. Mother would never—" "She did," Lawson said, mild as a winter sun. "She also anticipated your surprise." He lifted a second envelope. "She wrote a letter to be read aloud." He unfolded the paper. His voice shifted to carry the weight of a woman who had practiced truth late but well. "My dears, you know I have believed, sometimes stubbornly, in the weight of objects. This house has held our laughter, our cruelties, our apologies. For nearly 8 decades it trusted me to be better than I was, and forgave me when I was only human. The person who has kept this house upright, who polished its bones and saved my life and reminded me how to be decent when my temper wandered, is Anna Morales. If you want to be angry with me. If you want someone to blame, blame the day a woman from Jalisco put her hands over my heart and told it its work was not finished. I promised her nothing then, because promises are cheap and I preferred vows. Consider this my vow kept. The house should belong to the hands that kept it alive. Be kind. Love as if it's your only job. E. Silence fell into the small spaces. Speeches leave empty. You manipulated her, Charlotte said to Anna. The word spat like a seed. You and your CPR story. I pushed on her chest until it remembered to move. Anna said, That is all. Gregory looked at Lawson. We'll contest. You can, Lawson said, and you will lose. The trust documents are airtight. Mrs. Whitmore executed this will with 3 independent attorneys present. There is a video statement in which she, cackles and gives away the family home to the help? Charlotte snapped. In which she says what she just said more beautifully, Lawson replied. He gestured at the quiet television in the corner. We can view it now. Marlowe, the elder grandchild, with Evelyn's laugh stashed somewhere behind. Her fear spoke for the first time. If Miss Anna owns the house, she asked, can we still visit? Yes, Anna said, surprised by how easily the answer found her. If you are kind to the people who work here, no exceptions. Charlotte barked a small, ugly sound that once upon a time had been a laugh. How generous. Evelyn asked for kindness, Anna said. I will try to keep that promise. Try? Charlotte scoffed. I have never been rich enough to promise anything, Anna said, but I'm stubborn enough to try. News travels faster than furniture. By the end of the week, the neighbors had appeared with casseroles that were mostly curiosity and aluminum. The hedge trimmer shook Anna's hand and said, If you want to take down that topiary camel, I won't be offended. Anna told him to leave the camel. He looked relieved. People want to know which world they woke up in. Gregory pocketed the lake cabin keys like proof. Charlotte announced she would be in the city for a while, loaded 2 paintings and the AO sunroom chairs into a truck, and breezed out of the door like a resentment with good hair. The grandchildren hovered, and then, with a bravery children are better at, returned the next day with a box of photographs, and asked if they could put them up in the kitchen, because kitchens remember better. Anna walked the house with a legal pad. She listened to each room the way doctors listen to lungs. The ballroom wanted light. The library wanted a rug that didn't whisper age every time someone crossed it. The servants' staircase wanted new treads because loyalty shouldn't cost knees. She wrote large numbers and then kept writing anyway. In the sunroom drawer where scarves went to cool, she found a second letter addressed to her. Anna, if I had been braver, I would have said the quiet part out loud more often. You are the best of us. Don't let the house turn you into furniture. Sit sometimes. Tell it stories. Make it kinder than I ever managed. Love. Anna read it twice and let it settle behind her ribs like a stone choosing to be a jewel. On Sunday, she called a meeting in the kitchen. Camilla came with coffee. Miguel from maintenance arrived smelling like cut grass. Liana the florist tucked a daisy behind her ear like a small commitment. We're going to open the house on Wednesdays. Anna said, Open? Miguel asked. For the neighborhood. Anna said, Free. Music in the garden, cookies, a place to belong to something beautiful. Camilla's eyes went soft. She would have liked that. She would have pretended not to, Anna said, smiling. Then she would have written us a check with too many zeros. We'll do it anyway. The first Wednesday, 3 mothers and a toddler came, and the toddler put both palms on the marble like he was blessing it. The second Wednesday, a class of 2nd graders came, and the house learned the hilarity of 30 children trying and failing to whisper. The third Wednesday, a businessman wandered in and cried by the piano without asking permission. Anna set a box of tissues where Evelyn's metronome used to sit. No one moved it again. Not everyone approved. Shameful, one woman sniffed it, the welcome sign. Opening a family home to the masses. It's a house, Anna said. It can hold more than one kind of story. Are you going to charge? For what? For being here? No, Anna said. We're already paid in full. Charlotte returned in October with a lawyer in a suit that had never lost an argument. She made noises about undue influence until Lawson fed her dates and documents until her protest ran out of adjectives. She negotiated for art, for the sunroom chairs, for the silver with roses on the handles. She took 2 paintings, took the chairs, and left the silver because no one uses silver anymore, which made Camilla polish a spoon later just to spite the idea. Before Charlotte left, she paused in the kitchen doorway, watching Anna arrange small sandwiches for Wednesday outreach. You were always very good at serving, Charlotte said. And now I choose the menu, Anna replied, and for a flicker of a second, something like respect crossed Charlotte's face and kept going. Winter taught the house a new kind of quiet. Snow made the driveway an honest path. On Christmas Eve, Marlowe read A Christmas Carol to the neighborhood children in the sunroom and did all the voices badly and perfectly. After New Year's, Anna met with the community college to set up the Whitmore in Hand Scholarship for the children of caretakers, cooks, bus drivers, aides. The ampersand mattered to her, and is better than or. In March, Theo got in a fight with a boy who called him the kid whose grandmother gave a mansion to the maid. He split his lip and didn't cry. After school, he came to the house and asked if he could play the piano. Do you know how? Anna asked. A little. Then yes, she said, and he played badly and beautifully while the house leaned in to listen. In April, Lawson found a photograph at the bottom of the safe. Anna on the back steps with chamomile, eyes closed, face turned toward the last light. On the back, in Evelyn's hand, she never thinks anyone is looking. Make sure she knows I was. Anna sat down without meaning to. She always did that, she said. Seeing me? Good habit, Lawson said. The best, Anna said. On the first anniversary of Evelyn's death, a small crowd gathered in the garden. Camilla set out a picture of Evelyn wearing a scarf that looked like weather. A high school trio played Moon River, nearly right. People laughed where grief allows. Charlotte came. Her dress was the color a truce might choose if it needed one. She waited until Anna finished speaking and then stepped forward with that whole Whitmore poise, only this time it had something human hanging on it like a tag. I was not gracious, Charlotte said. The word fit her mouth like a foreign coin. I was cruel. You were grieving, Anna offered. I was also cruel, Charlotte said. Mother would have liked the Wednesdays. She would have pretended not to, Anna said, and the crowd laughed a stitch instead of a cut. Charlotte handed over a slim package wrapped in brown paper and string like a secret. Inside was a scarf, pale blue, the color of mourning. I thought you should have one, Charlotte said. For when the house remembers to breathe, Anna said. Thank you. They stood in a light too honest for enemies. Somewhere a child ran by with 2 cookies and no shame. Somebody cried quickly because the sun can be rude in April. Anna tied the scarf loosely at her throat. It made her feel both ridiculous and exactly right, which is what grace does when it's working. By summer, the brass plate by the bell no longer read Whitmore Residence. It read Whitmore House, and beneath, in smaller letters, and hands. People paused to run their fingers over the ampersand like it might start talking if encouraged. On a Wednesday, when the hydrangeas showed off, an older woman came in and stood very still in the foyer. I cleaned houses for 40 years, she said. None of them wanted my hands to be seen. This one does, Anna said. How much does it cost? Your time, Anna said. Your story, if you feel like telling it. A cookie if you're hungry. The woman laughed like metal becoming music. That night, Anna walked the house the way she always had, only now the house walked with her. She touched the banister like a sleeping animal you love. She pressed a palm to the library rug and felt it hum apology for years of whispering age. In the music room, she set a metronome on the piano and wound it. The stubborn little heart ticked in place. 2 inches down. Release, 2 inches down. In the sunroom, she sat in the second-best chair. Evelyn's was left empty, out of respect for absence, and opened the letter again. She read the lines that told her not to become furniture and nodded, like someone accepting a vow. Camilla came in with a plate of respectable cookies, the kind children leave behind. They stole all the good ones, she said. I like respectable things, Anna said. They usually last. Do you miss being invisible? Camilla asked after a comfortable quiet. Sometimes, Anna said. It's easier to clean a room when no one is watching. But doors don't learn new jobs if no one ever uses them, Camilla grinned. You've been writing speeches again. I talk to rooms, Anna said. They answer. They ate in the kind of silence kitchens love. Outside, the evening put itself on like a shawl. Before she went upstairs, her room now at the front of the house, not out of vanity, but because light matters, Anna unlatched the front door and left it on the catch the way Evelyn used to when the lilacs were loud. From the street, the house looked like a ship lit softly from within. Not a museum, not a trophy. A place someone could enter without becoming smaller. Sometimes the sea keeps what you throw into it. Sometimes it brings it back better. On the landing, where Charlotte once laughed at her shoes, Anna paused and touched the wall. It was smooth as the inside of a shell. She smiled. The house, which had always known more than it said, exhaled, long, relieved, completely alive. And for the first time in a very long time, it felt simply, certainly owned by love.